before we go into our discussion for today, I have a little video here that you will watch, and after watching this video, you will get a topic for today's class, right? Look clearly at the video, right? And you will tell me something that you learned from the video that can aim to be your topic for today. Okay? Alright, you will start watching the video. Alright, for objectives for today, we will be able to define it from animal, classification of animal, the group of the different classification of animals, an example of each, right? So look at the video. Can you tell me what is the topic for today after looking at the video? Yes, animal, right? But today we're looking at animal kingdom, right? Was it? Animal kingdom. Very good.
The world is full of many different types of animals. Some swim, some fly, some breathe air, and some breathe underwater. Some have skeletons, and others don't. To help us understand the differences between the animals in our world, scientists classify or sort animals into different groups that share important characteristics. The two largest groups of animals are vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrates are animals that have spines or backbones. Invertebrates are animals that do not have backbones. Most of the animals in the world are invertebrates. Some examples of invertebrates are octopus and squid, insects, arachnids, starfish and sea urchins, jellyfish, crabs and lobsters, clams, and many more creatures. On land, most invertebrates are fairly small, but in the water, they may grow to much larger sizes, as the water will support them even without a skeleton. Vertebrates make up less than 5% of all animal species on Earth, but if I asked you to think of an animal, you would probably choose a vertebrate. Vertebrates are divided into different classes or groups. Several of these classes are specific types of fish. For example, jawless fish, like lampreys and hagfish, and cartilaginous fish, like sharks and rays. For simplicity's sake, these other classes are usually lumped together with bony fish and just called fish. The four remaining classes of vertebrates will all be very familiar: amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. Let's look at the characteristics that make an animal a fish. Fish live in the water, and they can breathe underwater. They use gills, not lungs, to get oxygen from the water around them. Fish have scales and fins. They are cold-blooded, which means that they cannot control their own body temperature, which changes based on the temperature of the environment around them. Most fish also lay eggs. Amphibians are a group of animals that include frogs, toads, newts, salamanders, and more. Amphibians, like fish, are cold-blooded. Unlike fish, amphibians can live on land and in the water, and have smooth, moist skin. Amphibians lay their delicate jelly-covered eggs in the water. When the eggs hatch, the young may not look much like their parents, because some amphibians must go through metamorphosis, or a big change, to become adults. Aside from some fish, amphibians are the only vertebrates that undergo metamorphosis. Reptiles you might know are turtles, snakes, crocodiles, and lizards. Like fish and amphibians, reptiles are cold-blooded. Unlike them, reptiles are air-breathing animals and cannot breathe underwater. Even reptiles that live in the water must come to the surface to breathe. You can tell if an animal is a reptile instead of an amphibian if it has dry, scaly skin. Most reptiles lay eggs, but they are very different from the eggs of amphibians or fish. Their eggs are laid out of the water and have a protective shell. For the most part, reptile eggs have soft, leathery shells. Birds are easy to recognize. They are the only type of animals in the world to have feathers. Like reptiles, birds can only breathe air. All birds have 2 legs, and all birds also have wings, but not all birds fly. Unlike fish, amphibians, and reptiles, birds are warm-blooded. That means that they can maintain a constant body temperature. Birds lay eggs, but unlike the eggs of reptiles, birds' eggs have hard shells. The last group of animals we are going to talk about is mammals. Mammals are the group of animals that humans belong to. Like birds, mammals are warm-blooded and breathe air. Even mammals that live in water must come to the surface to breathe. All mammals have at least some fur or hair, although some have less than others. Almost all mammals give birth to live young instead of laying eggs, and all mammals feed their babies milk. A fun fact about mammals is that mammals are the only animals to have ears that stick out. The animal kingdom is classified into many different groups based on animal characteristics to help us understand the world around us. Saying an animal is an invertebrate, a vertebrate, a fish, amphibian, reptile, bird, or mammal tells us many things about it that can help us to understand its needs and behavior. I hope you enjoyed learning about animal classification today. Goodbye till next time.
Good afternoon, students. It's now for integrated science, so can you please take out all your material, your pen and your notebooks as we begin today's topic. And for today's topic, we were looking at the topic animal kingdom. Have you ever heard the word animal before? Yes, we all know and you're aware of animals, right? And what are some animals that you can find in your home or around in your environment or your neighbor house or what? Yes, we can find cow and sheep and goats, right? All those are animals. So can someone tell me now what is animal? What is an animal? Okay, you define animal. Mary would like to go? Yes, animals are living things. Very good. Peter, can I hear you now? Yes, animal breed. That's all features of animal, right? So we know that animals now. Animal is a living thing that can move and eat and react to the world throughout, right? So animals can move, right? Did you ever see an animal stay one place all the time if it's not sick? Alright then, so animal can move about, animal can breed, some animals give birth and these things, right? Yes, very good. So now, classification of animals, and there are 2 types or 2 classifications of animals, and that can be vertebrate and invertebrate. Yes, can somebody tell me what is vertebrate? Yes, very good. Vertebrates are animals with backbone, right? Are you vertebrate? Okay, yes, vertebrates are animals with backbone. So if vertebrates are animals with backbone, what can we say is invertebrates now? Yes, very good. I have some very smart children here this afternoon. Invertebrates are animals without backbone. Very good, Tanisha. Invertebrates are animals without backbone. So we know what is animal. We know the classification of animals, right? And animals can be of vertebrates and invertebrates. Now we're looking at vertebrates now, right? And it said that vertebrates can be broken down into 6 main groups or 6 groups, right? There we have mammals, we have birds, we have reptiles, we have amphibians, and we have fish, right? Yes, so mammals can be broken down now into 6 different class or 6 different groups. So let us look at mammals now. Here is a picture. This is the animal kingdom. We have vertebrates and we have invertebrates, right? The first one is looking at mammals, right? And we see a cow here, right? So we know that cows is a mammal, and then we get mammals. We have amphibians, we have reptiles, we have birds, and we have fish. Good. So mammals now are warm-blooded animals that have fur and hair and give birth to their young, and they produce milk, right? So animals, they give birth to their young. They have furs and their skin. And tell me what animals you can find with fur. All right. And they have wool, right? Have you ever saw a sheep or this kind of woolly sheep or goat? Yes, that is what they are covering them. So when you look at this sheep, no, it's a mammal, right? They suck their young. Look at this cow here. He is sucking his young, right? He's sucking milk from his mother. So this here is a mammal. So we all know what is a mammal? Yes, a mammal, warm-blooded animals that have fur, hair, and give birth to the young, and they also suckle the young, right? Good. So now we're looking at amphibians now. So amphibians now are animals, right? Amphibians, right? Amphibians, and they have reptiles, right? I know that on the reptiles are cold-blooded animals and have moist skin, live both on land and in water, right? So reptiles, they live both on land and in water. Then we have birds, and birds are warm-blooded animals and they have feathers, right? What they both have? Feathers. Yes, birds have feather, and they lay eggs, and they have a beak, right? And where's the beak found? Yes, on the mouth. You see this parrot? It have a beak, right? And then we look at fish now. And fish, what do you think? Fish are cold-blooded or hot-blooded? All right, yes. Fish are cold-blooded animals that have scales, live in water, and breathe through their gills, right? So fish now, they live in water, and they are cold-blooded animals, right? Good. So we're looking at invertebrates now, and we know that invertebrates are animals without backbone. So can someone give me an example without not looking on this board? What example of an invertebrate? All right. Peter, do you want to give us a try? Yes, very good, right? So we have worms. Do worms have backbones? No, worms don't have backbones, right? And invertebrates now, they are broken down into different classes. So we have the mollusks, right? They ever see a snail before? So mollusks now, the example of a mollusk is a snail, right? And snails do not have backbones. This is only the shell to cover or to protect them, but they do not have backbones. Then we have annelids, right? And these are where you find earthworms and roundworms. You ever been in the yard and you go and look for fishing? Like you go and fishing, you have to dig for bait, right? Bait, all these things are worms, right? And there are invertebrates. We have archons, is where we find a spider. All these spiders that you find in your house, they are all invertebrates. They are all animals that do not have backbone. And we have crab, and we have fartlek, let's call it, right? But the right word is meropods, right? They are fall under meropods. These fartlek, fartlek bite you, it's fever, right? Yes, so fartleks. And we also have insect, where we find the grasshoppers, we have bees, and all these things are invertebrates, right? Good now. So for our activities today, right? Our activities today, right? after we don't know what is animal, and we don't know the classification of animals, and we know the animal kingdom now. So now in your exercise book, after you finish copying these notes, right, you will now for your activity now, you will give 2 examples of a mammal. And remember, mammals have ear and 4, right? So look at the characteristics and just give 2 examples of a mammal, right? 2 examples of mammal apart from cow, amphibians, reptiles, bird, and fish, right? So you will copy the notes and then you will go into this little activity, right? Good. So now, you finish writing? All right, well, we will mark the book after. So you will, everyone now will tell me, someone will tell me what they have. Another animals now, from mammals. What is it? Who will go first? All right, one at a time. Yes, we have a sheep. Very good, right? And why do we say that sheep is a mammal? Yes, because it is covered with 4. What else? They give him birth. Very good. An example of a reptile. We have alligator, yes. And lizard. All these things are reptile. And what about bird? You know, we have, yes, kiskadee, black and yellow kiskadee, this red bird, the mocker. All these fall under vertebrates, right? Good. So now, after we finish writing, we also know, right? So now we close your book, right? Close your books. Yes. And you will tell me what you learned, right? What you learned from today's class. Who would like to go first? All right, go ahead. Animals are, yes, they are living things. Very good. They can move. They can reproduce. And all these things, right? They are all animals. And how many classification of animals they have now? 2. What are the 2? Vertebrates and invertebrates. Very good. So give me an what are vertebrates or what is vertebrates? The vertebrates are animals with backbone. Very good. Vertebrates are animals with backbone. And what is invertebrate now? Invertebrates are animals without backbone. So we have vertebrates and we have invertebrates. So now come tell me how many classes of vertebrates they have? Yes, 6 main class or 6 main groups of vertebrates. And what is that? Yes, we have mammals, amphibians, reptile, bird, and fish, right? Very good. Mammals, amphibian, reptile, bird, and fish. And invertebrates now, we have arthropods, and this can be urchins. Crocodile is where you find a crab. Myropods are squartlet. And we have insects. We have the grasshopper and all these things, all right? We have vertebrates and we have invertebrates. That is, yeah, very good. So now copy your homework for me now. For our homework today, right? You will look at all the classification or different groups of vertebrates and you will find pictures to go with them, right? Like you said that they have cow, we have sheep, right? Good. So you'll find pictures of each